James Bond has been a big part of my life growing up. I was introduced to all of the films, starting with Dr. No. I am not joking with you. Other than GoldenEye, the game, back in this Nintendo 64 days, I've never played another James Bond game. And so I see this thing pop up. What is it called? First Light 007. Okay, so right off the bat, and this might be great for the game designers too, because this is not out yet. It says alpha footage. It's not even in beta. It's alpha, which is great. So maybe a cinematographer's perspective might be helpful to the devs, you know? The DP or cinematographer that they have for this show, for the cinematics, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, not just with the light, because it's backlighting all of the snow and it's making the snow pop big time. Let's see what we got, man. Amazon has a studio? Okay. So it's kind of stylized. It's not meant to look realistic. Interesting. Oh, wow. You can see the texture of his freaking jacket. It's got a sheen to it. It's got these striations in it. Absolutely gorgeous. One thing I will say, though, DP dude, is let the light do its job. Let the light do what it do, and don't try to help it along. Just try that. Try that. This game is in development. I would love for you to try that out. What you got going on here is fine. I'm not talking about this slash, and it, by the way, it's interacting. Oh, you can see it. You can see the haze. It's interacting with the haze here. Beautiful. That's not what I'm talking about. This is atmosphere. This is great. All of that's great. What I'm talking about is you adding another light for the fill side of his face to bring his fill side up to level. What level? What level? You're matching his fill side with the key side. Why would you do that? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. They don't do that in the movies. Don't do it in the game. Okay? I'm not griping. I'm just saying. Like, if you're going to make a game based on movies, it should look like those movies. Right? The people that are fans of this series are fans of this game because of the movies, right? And so you need to have your light mimic what would have happened on set to the best of your ability. I'd be happy to help you out with that if you have questions. But adding a random light just to fill up the face is not the way to go. Or maybe what he did, maybe that's a light coming from over here and he's just really extended it. You do see something in the glasses. And if that is a reflection of what they actually have here, then that's probably it. Yes, that's what it is. Okay, I see. So it's not coming from the fill side, but it is so big that it is filling that side of his face. So what you have going on is your light here is kissing the side of his head, although it's not interacting with his jacket very much, but it's definitely hitting his head. And it's definitely almost like that light is coming from up here. Did you add an extra light for him? Why? You did. It is coming from up there. I mean, you can do that, I guess. But then you added something way too soft. And it's wrapping too much onto this side. I would suggest make this come more from this left side. Make it more of a 4x4 shape. Start with that, 4 feet by 4 feet, like a 4x4 frame, because those are the shapes that they have on set, and that's going to give you this shape right there. And it's going to create something of a triangle right there, and that's going to fill that side of the face. At this point, then all that you have left is the fill side, and that would generally, including this side, that would just dip into black. And I'm sure you're aware of that. You can see it right there. That's already trying to dip into black. What you do at this point is you add a giant white surface, whether invisible or invisible, right here, just a giant white surface, and then you play with this opacity. This is very similar to what we do on set, where we have like an ultra bounce for fill that would then lift the fill side of the face up to level, and we just back it in. We push it in or back it out to adjust the fill level, and that's how you do that here. Here you can just like place a shape and then bring its opacity down until you can get the shape on the face. That's what I would suggest doing here. Your key light for him is is too broad. Same thing with her. Although I would say the shape on her is very nice, but I would say like this right here, aim to try to knock that down like by like half a stop, maybe even a third. I would say half a stop. And really that comes down to where that, so it looks, if the key light is anything similar to this, so you have two things going on here. You have a key light here for her, which is doing this stuff. And it's even creating that triangle. But then you've killed, I don't want to say killed, brought the fill up enough with, there is a source there. You do have a giant white source there. I would say you lifted the fill up too much. Bring it down like half a stop. Yeah. It's okay to make it look dramatic. This right here, this is what I was talking about. This looks a lot better. This is perfect. This is great. This is cinematic, and this is what you'll see in the movies. And you even have a little kicker light there. Look at you go. You have a practical over here that's kicking the face, doing that stuff. Look at you, you naughty dog. It's slightly stylized, isn't it? It's like almost, it's not quite cartoony, but they're not going for hyper realistic, but they are going for, I would say, appropriately realistic. That's a cool thing. That's a cool thing. You have the classic Bond slashes through the slats of a window. Is that what that is? That's cool. And then there's one up here as well, hitting the face. Yeah. One of my favorite shots in all of the Bond movies was in the opening of Skyfall. Literally the first shot where he comes in, it's like, doo-doo, and then there's no music, and he just slowly walks up and it reveals his eyes through a strip of light. It's like very classic noir. Beautiful. And you can see right here, the light that's hitting her is not necessarily soft. It's, you can see the edges there. It's just barely soft, which is no bueno. Make it softer, man. Oh, you can see right there. See that bright? If you see a really bright dot in somebody's eye, that means it's a hard light because it's bright. It's bright. And then you have something underneath. Oh, don't tell me that you're doing that. You have something underneath right there, down here. Are you doing that to fill the shadows under the chin? It looks to be, because this is the line for the key light. But it's barely there. This is being lifted. This is being lifted. You have added, like a photographer, a light source underneath the chin. That is unnatural. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be afraid. If you don't have enough illumination down here, I was taught this by a cinematographer. Focus on everything natural. So if you're going to key somebody inside of a building, don't do it with a 1x1 panel, because that doesn't occur naturally inside that building. What does occur? 4x4 shapes, 4x8 shapes, window-shaped sources, or window-sized sources. So this thing behind her is like a 4x4, minimal. And if it's from head to toe, then it's more like a 4x8 or 4x10, 10 tall, right? And so you need to create that shape, make it glow, and then point it at her face, and it's going to do a lot better. Now, in cinematography, we cheat and not just have something that's tall and maybe like only 2 feet or 4 feet across. Instead, what we do is we make it, the height almost doesn't matter. You typically want it to be like window height, right? But then you can cheat and make it much longer, so that this is now a 4x8, 8 long or 8 wide, and that will then wrap the face a lot more. So if you start at, like, say, if she is centered, and now we have drawn like some type of doodle so that we can orient ourselves with the subject. You can have your light come from the side. What I would do is I would have 4 feet in the back and then 4 feet in the front. Do that. And then if you can't angle it, you don't actually have to angle it. But like that. 4 feet in the back, 4 feet in the front, and then make that thing glow and make it at eye level so that you have even distance from the top to the bottom. You can even make it, push it up to the top a little bit more. But if you do that, the shadows will take care of themselves. That's what I was told. You focus on natural sources, the shadows will take care of themselves. And you'll notice that something that large it hits the face and it will naturally wrap around. It will wrap around and then it'll create this this gradient fall off that will look so natural you won't want to place anything, not even for the fill side. Maybe like a fill surface, but not like a source, right? Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the cool stuff. This is awesome. This is bad. Have you ever seen the OA? The OA? It's on Netflix. This guy, when he smiles, looks just like Steve. Do you remember Steve? He was like the guy, the brute guy with a bad attitude, the blonde dude. That's what he looks like. All right, moving on. The lighting looks fantastic here. I don't see any problems. Look, this is what I was talking about. This is natural lighting where you have your sun is doing what it do. It's casting the shadows that it casts. Ooh, you even got some Rembrandt. It's going to be right there. And then the rest of it is the natural fill of the room. You don't have to add anything. This is a perfect ratio, in my opinion, for what you're going to be producing for this. Perfect. It's a perfect shot. Perfect lighting. All right, let's see what we got. Interesting. So, remember how I said it was perfect lighting? And this is what I see in games, and I don't understand it. Maybe one of y'all can help me understand it. Why is it that character lighting, like your character, can differ sometimes significantly from other characters? What is the difference between his lighting and her lighting? Well, he's got contrast. So all of this is contrast. You got some wonderful contrast. I wouldn't change a thing here. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But then Ladybeans back here, where's that contrast? It's lifted up. You can even see, oh my gosh, look how much she looks flat. She looks like she's been cut out and pasted into the shot. I mean, look at the black levels here compared to the monitor right next to her. I don't know what's going on, but this pulls me out of it. And it doesn't matter how much cool stuff you have. Like, look at these refractions here. This is badass. I don't know how much that's taxing the computer. That's freaking awesome. But that doesn't matter if your characters don't fit in with the scene. He looks just like Steve. But then this shot is awesome. Look at the shadow is perfect. It is absolutely perfect. You're really losing detail here, which is what cameras would do. Perfect. Yeah, I absolutely love that the dark holes, you don't see all the detail in them. There's a point where it just clips the black and that's it. There's no more information. That's great. You shouldn't be able to see every single hair just because it's a video game and you can, right? It should look like a camera. So here, I want to say that this is the light that's hitting her. It's some kind of rounded square. Really? Really? Or is it a circle and it's the glasses that are distorting that reflection? Which would be badass if it was. But regardless, either way, whatever it is, it's doing an awesome job. It's bouncing realistically off these walls and coming over here and lighting this up. Do you see this bright spot? That's a reflection of this. That is accurate. Like, all of this stuff is lit up as a response. All of this is lit up as a response to what the sun is doing to this wall. That is really impressive. It's just like Steve. Woo! Oh. You can fool the fans, but not the players. That's a quote from Karita Kent. I have, she made a list of 10 rules for students and teachers, and I have that on my website, StephenLightStudy.com. It's completely free to download. You should check it out. I'm serious. Check it out. Download it. It's a PDF. Print it out. Stick it on your wall. Give it to your friends especially if you're creatives. It is a great way to look at creative work and to be honest with yourself. One of I think it's rule 7. She says you can fool the fans. The only rule is to work. That's what she's talking about, like working. The only rule is to work. If you work, you will get better. You can fool the fans, but not the other players. You can fool the fans, but not the players. So what do I mean here? I don't mean that you are actually trying to fool me, game cinematographer, but what I'm saying is I notice an inconsistency from this wide shot to the tight shot because you've added a light. Now, we cheat all the time in movies and commercials, but this is a little excessive because you've added something to light up this whole area. And I don't think you need that, honestly. I don't, because look how bright it is right here. I think it would have been fine without this extra light. And so you might be okay with this extra shadow here from your light placement, but I would be griped out having added literally a hard light just to get some level on like an insert shot. And so you have a hard light that you've placed over here so we can see all of this stuff better. Don't do that. Make it soft, make it dim. And this is something that I also don't appreciate, which is there's no occlusion right here. This should be black. This should be pretty dark. It's in the shadow. There's no light emitting from his body. So why is the inside of his jacket lit up, right? There should be some occlusion there. I notice that all the time with like characters, like inside their mouths, they're like, ah, but inside you, there's like a light passing through their body and hitting their teeth and stuff. It just takes you out of it. That was badass. Oh, that's cool. Oh, frack. I want to play this game. Just like sneaking around. Oh, this shot is gorgeous. All it is backlight, and then you have the chandelier, which you may not have. You probably hid like a light in that chandelier, right? Like a big, just, yeah. This is great. Like a chess game. Try to get out of using so many hard lights. I mean, it looks like you have a soft light right there. It looks like it's this big, but in reality, it seems like it's a lot smaller. Like the reflection says it's big, but in reality, I think it's a lot smaller because you can see how sharp this shadow is, and it only gets slightly fuzzy. It's a pretty sharp shadow. That's a sharp shadow. Gets a little bit more fuzzier right there, but not much. And you got a nice Rembrandt. Excellent placement of the light. I would just soften it up. Yeah. And then looks like you've added a fill light on the right side. Don't do that. Make it a... And what I mean by don't do that, like it's just a skinny strip. Unless there's a window there, make it really big and very dim. Very dim. Something else I've noticed is there is no occlusion of the tires. If this light is shooting out, then it would be casting hard lights right there. But it seems like the tires aren't blocking the light at all. It's like the car isn't interacting with the environment. And then, of course, the front tires are going to do the same thing, and you're going to get the stretch of that. And then they will move as the car passes. So it feels like the car is not actually a part of the space. That was cool. This right here, this is cool. I will say that it looks a little bit overlit. I'll explain. So the silhouette and all of this stuff, this is great. 100% perfect. Fireworks going off. Great. I want to say right here, what is lighting up his face? There's no firework right next to him. And yes, in the cinema world, we would call this cheating. But you'll notice even Roger, whenever he did Skyfall, whenever he had a scene like this in that skyscraper, he didn't have an extra light to light up the face. At least I don't think so. I don't remember. I think they just had like a light on the gun or something, or maybe they had lights for the gun flashes. And I would say let it take care of itself. You have a kicker light over here. It's going to edge all of this. I mean, yeah, you have something up here for whatever is up here. That's fine, but that's going to go away. This light here would edge whatever part of his face his arm isn't blocking, but it would be an edge. It would not fill up any more of his face, and that's fine. I think that's fine. It just feels lit, overlit. There's too many sources at the same time. And right here is another great example of that. So this right here, badass shot. This is what I'm talking about. And let the fireworks just like sprinkle in like a contrast. And then you have something right here where you have a top light, a top light serving as the fireworks being on for way too long, and that's lighting up all of these trees, and it's lifting up the entire thing. Let's check the scopes and see what we're dealing with. Your black levels are between 2. We're just going to look at this one side. Between 2 and maybe like 5 IRE, and then it lifts up right here to like 15. So that would be like all of this area, this third. And if we want, we can also look at this middle section here. So these 3 lumps, and that would be like this section right here. All right. So now let's move forward to it getting illuminated. So how about right there? So we keep the firework from affecting the image. And so what has happened is your blacks have lifted up by this much. That's quite a bit, in my opinion. I think that while you can probably keep this section, the rest of it should stay dark, in my opinion. Or just dim the entire light, right? Yeah. But it still looks, it's a great thing, dude. It's a great trick. Excuse me. What a great shot. That is a classic Bondy shot. You do have an eye light, and it looks to be straight right next to camera. And it's like an eye light. It's not really affecting the rest of her face. You have this wonderful, wonderful contrast. And it's that noir, hard light. You get just ever so slightly a Rembrandt. Yeah, you have this wonderful contrast going on. This is great. Absolutely great. I can tell that you have added something to lift up her face. Maybe that's what the eye light is doing, because this is brighter than everybody else's, right? Yeah, but it still looks good. It's great. It's a great contrast ratio. Why does this shot not sell to me? This one's okay. Why does this not sell? I know why. Because, and you're probably going to guess it. Oh, there it is. See that line? So this is the actual shadow that his face should be at. But instead, they've added a light to lift up this part of his face out of that shadow. And of course, we have whatever the light, the key light is, the hard light, and that's what's edging the rest of his face. So that's this part. And maybe his hair. It's kind of hard to tell. The hair doesn't seem to be reacting to this light here. So they've added something right here to lift up this side of his face, and I think that it's too strong. You can add stuff, right? Be aware of the level. It is too strong. Pretend like it's a film set. Is this too? Where's the contrast? There's no contrast. You've eliminated it. You can make this side darker if you want to see more of the face. So don't have that light like wrapping so far around. Cut that light in half or move that light more to the left side so it's not filling in the right side of the face. And this is the same situation. This is exactly the same situation as the opening scene. Underwater shot looked cool. This is awesome. Oh, that was awesome. What a shot. What a great homage to the opening of a Bond film. Look at this. I want to celebrate this right here. You have this is beautiful. This is absolutely perfect. Let's start with the background. You have a window light for all of these things, and it's coming in and it's hitting all of these things, and it's even stretching and hitting the sky. Although I will say you've cheated and you made it the same level here as it is over here, and that's just not how it would happen. We both know that this should be at like a quarter up here that's doing that work and doing that work. It might be like one of these things. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Giving it that little triangle. You didn't even have to do it, and you did it anyway. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Fantastic. I am excited for this game. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get back into gaming. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. I am a DP. I've shot hundreds of commercials. I've lit thousands of sets. And I do this, I break down videos like this all the time, mostly commercial work where I break down like the great, like really good commercials and then some ones that need improvement. And I point out pros and cons of both and how you can improve. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, then you should check out the other videos and consider subscribing, and you'll get more. And if that's not enough, I'm offering a limited amount of private critiques of your videos to help you grow and expand in your craft in a more realistic and professional treatment of the locations and subjects that you're shooting. It's linked below, available at stephenlightstudy.com/mentorship. If you just go to the website, you'll also find the guides, and that is where Karita Kent's 10 rules for students and teachers are. I hope you enjoyed this and have a great day or night. Bye.